I'm the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So today, we're going to do the second of 3 battles that have percolated through my brain from the viewer suggestion. For today's experience, a Chaos Rhino with an escort and some surprise troops hiding out in teleportarium things. Have to navigate a blocked highway kind of deal. They got to go off the road and go off-road a little bit. And they get ambushed during the experience. So the Rhino will start out there, cut out in the fence there, because the road is blocked for some reason down here. So the Eldar on this thing here as the ambushing party, and the exit is that little collectible coin over there in the corner. Alright, let's go meet the armies then. So for today's Rhino awesomeness, we got a Rhino. Inside the Rhino, we're going to have 2 Greater Possessed, a 5-man squad of Chaos Space Marines with a Heavy Bolter, a Master of Executions, a Sorcerer, and a Chaos Lord. If something bad happens, the Greater Possessed can hop out, but it's unlikely you'll see the rest of these guys again. 3 Bikers to escort the Rhino. And then if something bad happens, there's a 5-man squad of Warp Talons and 2 Obliterators that will come in out of the teleportarium, wherever they're at, to help out. So today's ambush people, we have this Eldari grouping. We have 2 Warlocks, one knows Enhance, the other knows Protect. I don't remember which is which because they'll probably mostly be smiting the whole time. We have 2 5-man squads of Dire Avengers, a Wraith Lord with a Bright Lance and an Eldari missile launcher, a 10-man squad of Guardian Defenders with a heavy support platform, and then 2 3-man squads of Wind Riders. So these guys will be on the hill. The only deal is that they can charge anything they want except the Rhino. Yeah. So I'm going to set up deployment, and we'll start the game on the off chance that the Rhino gets destroyed. All of the guys in the Rhino will hop out and start running towards the exit. If it gets destroyed. I don't think it will, but, if it does. Alright, I'm going to set this up and start the game. Okay, so the Rhino and the Bikers are here, ready to start their journey across the table. And so the Eldar have all lined up here in their ambush thingy. Dire Avengers, Warlock, Wind Rider in the back. Dire Avengers, Guardian Defenders, Wraith Lord, and the other Wind Riders and the other Warlock. Ignore the Wraith Knight. So we'll do movement for the Chaos area thing here. So I rolled a really crappy advance roll for the Rhino, so not a whole lot of happiness there. So shooting phase. Okay, so the Bikers did not advance. So they shot at these Dire Avengers and killed 3 of them. None of them ran away. Definitely not going to do any charging on this side, so that'll make it the Eldar turn, so movement. So the Warlock and the Wind Riders advanced off of this hill. The Dire Avengers are just going to hang out. These Dire Avengers and the Guardian Defenders advanced down off of the hill, and everyone else is just going to hang out where they are. Psyker phase, because that guy's definitely in range to do some stuff. So the Warlock here smote the Bikers, killing one of them and doing another point of damage to another one. Starting to look a little frail here. That'll make it the Eldar shooting phase. So some days I complain about how the Chaos dice suck. Some days I complain about how other dice suck. But today, the Chaos Dice are just kicking ass. The Wind Riders actually wounded a lot of their shots on the bikers, but they managed to save against all of them. And they managed to save against the Bright Lance and the Eldar missile launcher, so I'm actually starting to have higher hopes for these guys. That'll make it the Night Lord's turn, so movement. So the Rhino and the bikers have advanced pretty far up here, hugging onto this wall here. Hoping that they're going to be out of range for getting shot. We'll see how that goes. So the Warp Talons have dropped in here, behind the Wind Rider, as has this Obliterator. And this Obliterator has dropped in over here. Okay, so we'll go to Night Lord's shooting. So this Obliterator killed 3 of these Guardian Defenders. This Obliterator did a little bit of damage to the Wraith Lord. So for charges, the Warp Talons over here are going to charge into these Wind Raiders. Okay, that was kind of disappointing actually. The Wind Raiders killed 2 of the Warp Talons on Overwatch, and then they rolled Snake Eyes on their charge. Obviously didn't make that. That'll make it the Eldar turn. So movement. Whole lot of shifting on the Eldar lines. These defenders just moved over a little bit. The Wind Riders came down off their little hill thing to this corner here. Dire Avengers moved over a little bit. The Wind Riders hopped up here to take on the Obliterator. And the Dire Avengers and Warlock all advanced to get over here to take on the Warp Talons. That'll take us to the Eldar Psychic phase. I used my girlfriend's Jukari dice for the Eldar, and they really don't like me today because no psychic powers manifested. That's super sad. But it will take us to the Eldar shooting phase. I anticipate better success here. Alright, so my expectations were massively over hopeful. These guys missed with everything. The Obliterator saved against everything from these guys. This guy actually did manage to kill 1 biker with his Bright Lance, but these guys failed to wound at all. These guys shot at the Obliterator and did 1 damage to it. These things also shot at the Obliterator and he saved on all of that. Chaos Dice are stepping up. Charge phase? No. Not charging. That'll make it the Night Lord's turn. So, movement. So the only thing for Chaos that moved was the Rhino and the Biker, and they advanced way up to here by this Obliterator. Pretty much the point where they can start heading over to the exit area. No Psychers, so we'll do Chaos shooting. So this Obliterator managed to kill all 3 of these Wind Riders here. And this Obliterator killed 2 of these. That was super crazy. So, oh yeah, charging. Lest I forget. So the Warp Talons are going to charge into the Dire Avengers. So the Warp Talons did lose one guy to Overwatch, but they made their charge this time. They did manage to kill the regular Dire Avenger, but the Exarch also, well, he didn't die, but he didn't do any damage either. That'll make it the Eldar turn. So, movement. So really the only thing that moved over here were these Dire Avengers just advancing to follow the Rhino. Psychic phase, then. This Warlock successfully smote both Warp Talons, and now they're dead. This Warlock was also successful in casting Smite, but he only did 1 damage. Yeah, the Obliterator took a point of damage. That'll bring us to Eldar shooting. The Guardian Defenders and their heavy weapons platform managed to kill off the Obliterator. The Wraith Lord's Bright Lance did a whole bunch of damage to the Rhino, and then the Dire Avengers did another point of damage to it. No charging from the Eldar, so it'll go to the Night Lord turn. Movement. So the Greater Possessed have popped out of the back of the Rhino, and it has hauled balls towards the exit over there. We'll go to the Night Lord shooting. This Obliterator is the only one that can shoot. He did a couple points of damage to the Wraith Lord. I'm pretty sure they can't charge after they disembark. So we'll go to Eldar movement. This Exarch and the Warlock moved over here towards the Obliterator. They're the only Eldar that moved. Eldar Psychic phase. So this Warlock smote the Obliterator here for a lousy 1 point of damage. But this Warlock more than made up for it because he smote the Rhino for 3 points of damage, putting the Rhino down to 1. He's so close too. Eldar shooting. So the Wraith Lord killed the Obliterator. And it took the combined efforts of the Guardian Defenders, the Warlock Shuriken Pistol, and the Shuriken Cannon from the Wind Rider to finally destroy the Rhino. And yeah, so these guys are going to try and make a run for it over there when their turn is here. Oh look, their turn is here. Movement. So the command group out of the Rhino is just moving as a group towards the exit. The Greater Possessed have just moved behind them to try and catch up. Maybe charge these guys and distract them. I don't know. I know there's a Psyker out for the Night Lords now, so the Sorcerer is probably going to do some hectic shit. So the Sorcerer tried to cast Prescience. Well, he did manifest it, but the Warlock denied it, so the Sorcerer smote the Wind Rider and destroyed it. That'll be the Night Lord shooting phase then. So the Heavy Bolter didn't do anything. The other 3 Space Marines in there killed off 2 of the defenders. And then the Sorcerer and Master of Executions used their bolt pistols to kill the Warlock that was up there. So for charging phase, one of these guys is going to charge the Dire Avengers, and the other one is going to charge into the Guardian Defenders. Both of the Greater Possessed made their charges. Neither one of them took any damage from Overwatch. This one killed 2 of the Dire Avengers and took a point of damage in return. This one killed 4 of the Guardian Defenders, and they didn't even touch him. Okay, so that'll take us to the Eldar turn. So the Warlock and the Exarch down here at this end are advancing as far as they can to get to the other side. Wraith Lord's just going to stay where he is. These guys are just going to stay in combat. Too far away for the Warlock to do anything for a Psychic phase. So shooting. So now the Chaos Dice are really, really working for it. They saved all the wounds from both the Bright Lance and the Eldar missile launcher. The Space Marines did that. That was super, super crazy. Okay, they didn't save against the Bright Lance, but it missed with the Bright Lance and they saved against the missile launcher. But either way, Space Marines trying to survive, all crazy like. No charges, but there's 2 guys still in combat, so we'll deal with that. That was kind of disastrous, actually. So the last remaining Guardian Defender and the heavy support platform thingy. Yeah, they did not survive their onslaught thing. And the Dire Avengers didn't do anything to this guy, and he killed one of them. Yeah, that'll take us over to the Night Lord turn. More desperate scrambling from these guys. So the Chaos Lord, Master of Executions, Sorcerer, and the Chaos Space Marines have all advanced. Really, really close to the exit here. This Greater Possessed just circled around the tree to come and help this guy out. Not that he really needs it. It would be shooting, but there's really none of that, so the charge phase, where this guy very much makes his charge, and then probably kills them? Well, we'll see. So the Greater Possessed did indeed make his 2-inch charge. He killed the one Dire Avenger and slightly damaged the Exarch. And then this one just killed it off. Yeah, that'll make it the Eldar turn, but they're way over here. They can advance, and I'm going to, but I don't... Yeah, it's going to be crazy. I don't think they're going to be able to see him. Chaos is probably going to win. Either way. So the Warlock and the last Exarch advanced as far as they could. Really wasn't that far. The Wraith Lord just moved over here, so he can slightly see some of these guys. Too far out of range for this guy to do any sort of psychic ability, so we'll do some Wraith Lord shooting. So the Wraith Lord failed to hit with the Bright Lance, but he did kill one Chaos Space Marine with the missile launcher. Yeah, that'll make it these guys' turn, and it'll probably be the last turn depending upon how far that Chaos Lord advances. So all of these Chaos Space Marine guys advanced forward. Chaos Lord made it to the token, so even though he wasn't in the Rhino, he did still make it over here, so technically Chaos wins, even though Eldar kinda wins because they destroyed the Rhino? I don't know. Either way, somebody won. He still escaped. That was the ultimate goal. The Rhino died, but he still escaped. So this was the second, I don't know, little mutation thing that came up in my mind from the suggestion. So this was a little bit stranger than the other one. I was certainly worried for Chaos a lot, but they managed to pull it off. Those dice made some amazing saves. Some amazing saves. Made it to the end of the video. I appreciate you watching. I truly appreciate you guys watching. I looked at my subscriber count the other day and it said 142. Yeah, that's just crazy. Crazy. Alright, you guys have a good time wherever y'all are.